Now, there is no doubt about it that Deadpool N Wolverine is inching closer to the $1 billion box office margin. Worldwide speaking, by the way, it will obtain that in just a short number of days from now, and that's all because of Ryan Reynolds focusing on pure entertainment rather than an agenda-driven strategy that Disney typically does with many of their movies. And look, we all have to thank those out there like Ryan Reynolds, director Shawn Levy, the writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, and even Hugh Jackman for all taking a stand against the Disney executives to really just focus on entertainment instead of some kind of ideology out there. There was a lot of back and forth battles that took place. We talked about this for several months. However, focusing on She-Hulk actress Tatiana Maslany, there's a lot of drama happening behind the scenes there between the Walt Disney Company, Marvel Studios, and exactly how Ryan Reynolds is actually dealing with the whole scenario as we speak. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You could also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, for those of you that have or have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine, I think that it's very safe to say at this point that eventually almost everyone is going to go ahead and check this film out one way or another, right? This is basically a love letter to the Fox universe, whatever you want to call it, right? And all of the Fox characters in there. It's like a Fox movie for the Avengers, or vice versa, I should say. It's like Avengers style for Fox characters. Now, focusing on this, what's really interesting about all of that has a lot to do with how much drama is going on right now with Tatiana Maslany going up against Ryan Reynolds and claiming many different things about her role as She-Hulk. Let's get into this. Now, with the Deadpool and Wolverine box office already approaching $1 billion worldwide, those like Ryan Reynolds and director Shawn Levy have been dealing with some drama behind the scenes related to the alterations made to the film. One major development now has more to do with She-Hulk actress Tatiana Maslany, in a similar situation to what happened with Brie Larson and her role in Deadpool N Wolverine. As it turns out, Tatiana Maslany was involved in multiple heated arguments toward Ryan Reynolds, after he was the one who made the ultimate decision to not only completely delete her scenes from the theatrical version, but also from her scenes ever appearing on the director's cut / special edition of Deadpool and Wolverine that is planned to include several deleted scenes for other characters. A crucial update to the situation now involves how Tatiana is already demanding Ryan Reynolds and the Disney executives to reverse their decision, and that she is already beginning to blame sexism that played in a role in her BTS footage and completed scenes from ever seeing the light of day for the special edition of the film, set to drop, by the way, toward the end of this year and or in the beginning of 2025. Now, one scene in particular that Tatiana had multiple arguments about against Ryan Reynolds involved a fight sequence between the She-Hulk character and Wolverine, where Wolverine is destroyed by She-Hulk. It turns out that Tatiana Maslany spent 2 weeks of training for the scene that lasted roughly 4 to 5 minutes in the film, where she was going to break the fourth wall several times in the movie while fighting Wolverine. This was indeed said to be the main Wolverine and not another variant. The test screenings for the film were reportedly underperforming on a massive scale, due to Maslany's line delivery and acting capability for the scene when fighting the Wolverine as She-Hulk, and defeating him essentially in an embarrassing way. Another scene that was filmed for the She-Hulk character in Deadpool and Wolverine that she had fiery arguments toward Ryan Reynolds over for deleting them involved She-Hulk man-shaming both Wade Wilson and Logan during the third act of the film, where she makes some form of a speech and also breaks the fourth wall to the audience about toxic men. This was a line of dialogue previously forced down by Disney that was forced to be written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, once Ryan Reynolds held multiple negotiations with the Disney executives to get the scene deleted completely, even from the director's cut. This is ultimately what created the endless drama between Tatiana and Ryan, especially the Disney heads. As of now, of course, just like Brie Larson, she is looking to take some form of action against Disney if any of her scenes are not revealed to the public, and is also claiming behind closed doors that she was not paid her full payout for the cameos that were indeed filmed. Hey guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about this. Now, it seems like that she's really taking all of her anger out on Ryan Reynolds, especially after all of the calls that he made, all of the decisions that he made, that was obviously fit right for the movie. Look, the movie where it stands right now is perfect as is. I think that if you made any changes, or if you kept any of the other cameos in there, it would have been a cobbled mess. I think that when you have, you know, a Deadpool and Wolverine movie full of Fox-related cameos, for example, it would be very hard to throw in recent MCU characters that wouldn't really make much sense. For example, She-Hulk and Captain Marvel, both of which were axed from this movie, and rightfully so, I must add. Because in the beginning, we talked about this, Disney wanted to shoehorn some of their agenda-driven strategies in there, some of their ideology, in some way, shape, or form within the second to third acts of the film. And that did not end up working out for them, because we know that Disney caved, Bob Iger was pretty much put into a corner, from Ryan Reynolds, from Shawn Levy. You know, they were actually warning of stepping down from other Marvel-related movies for Phase 6 and beyond, and it gets worse than that. So what's interesting about this further is the fact that you have someone like Tatiana Maslany in a very near similar situation to Brie Larson with this movie, based on her character getting excluded from the film, not just from the theatrical version, like I said before, but also from the special edition / director's cut, whatever you want to call it, that's going to obtain and include tons of deleted footage of various other cameos to be bundled together. That's going to be roughly 30 minutes of extra footage, but it's not going to involve her character, it's not going to involve Captain Marvel, and that's creating a lot of drama. Now, in conclusion, of course, on top of that, besides the subpar test screenings, another reason why the scenes were axed was that Ryan wanted to focus on past Fox characters mainly in the end, and no agenda-driven strategies via Bob Iger and Kevin Feige in the beginning. So, look, I think it's a very good thing that Ryan was able to steer the ship in the right direction, right? The fact that he was able to do that by really kind of giving them ultimatums, and we talked about those ultimatums 3.5 months ago, about stepping down as a creator from Avengers Secret Wars, about stepping down from other projects that are going to be within the mutant era of Marvel that would focus more on Deadpool and Wolverine. Make no mistake, this is not the end for Hugh Jackman in the MCU. He is coming back, and basically Ryan was willing to actually back out with Hugh Jackman by his side if they did not stand by their overall vision. And so Ryan got things done his way, and rightfully so as well. And look how it turned out. This movie's most likely, and I say most likely, going to make over $1.5 billion worldwide. Don't be too shocked if it makes close to $2 billion. Heck, maybe it will make $2 billion. We'll have to wait and see. It all depends on repeat ticket sales and word of mouth, essentially, is what it's really all dependent on right now. And at the end of the day, it's just a really good movie. So overall, I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this, because we know that Ryan, much like others out there, such as Henry Cavill, was put into a similar scenario in the past. You know, he sticks up for the fans as well, and that's the type of actors that you want at the forefront when you have these leading projects. So overall, you know, I think that at the end of the day, you are going to realize that it's going to take some time to fix the MCU. It's going to take a lot of convincing. If they make more projects like this, perhaps it will be fixed sooner rather than later. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. Overall, guys, drop a comment below. Fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. And I will catch you guys later.